we will hear from Archbishop Mark MacDonald, who is the National Indigenous Anglican Archbishop and the World Council of Churches President for North America. Welcome.
Thank you very, very much. I'd like to greet everyone as my relative. It's a great honor to be here. We are in a unique time. It's a time that's related to things that go back a ways. We are seeing. We are witnessing the spiritual power of truth to change societies and lives. And Indigenous people and people of African descent in Canada who have been the victims of similar systemic forces that deny them the full humanity are being challenged by truth, and in the public execution of George Floyd, we have seen a revelation of the built-in brutalities, inequities, and danger to people of color, to people of African descent, and people who are Indigenous. We see, I think, that the colonialism which led to genocide for Indigenous people and the racism that was used to justify this massive and hideous evil of enslavement, that they have the same DNA, and that they must be seen as a part of what needs to happen in order for a good life to be, in order to have a livable future in Canada. So as we look at the world today, there is no livable future for the planet in which the full humanity of Indigenous people is recognized and understood. Because so much of the usable land that is left in the world is held in Indigenous hands, some of it in Africa. This is an absolutely critical issue. Now, I'm raising this not to eclipse what we're talking about. I'm raising it to say something in the same vein, and that is that there is no future of goodness for all people in Canada or anywhere else in which the full humanity of people of African descent is recognized and honored, and it is not as if Indigenous people are granted are acknowledged in their rights, and people of African descent aren't. That it's not as if that is a workable or a situation. They are a part of each other, and they need to be addressed. They need to be addressed at the same time. It is vital, and it is urgent. So I hope and trust that we will see a convergence of these things as we move forward, and a convergence of understanding. Just as I think many of you may be aware that when the execution of George Floyd happened, that many similar things that had happened to Indigenous people in Canada were revealed at the same time. These things work with each other. They are mutually beneficial to each other. So I think that a starting place is acknowledgement and facing the truth of what has happened. And a number of people have mentioned that throughout our presentations, which I greatly appreciate. I think that many white people feel that what is being asked of them is some kind of restriction and denial of their lives. And I think what Martin Luther King showed so powerfully, and others have as well, is that we will all be happier when the full humanity of every person is honored and respected. This is not a life in which some people are going to have their life restricted. This is a life in which all people will find goodness and strength. The people who have been who have erected the structures of racism and colonialism, and the people who have benefited from these structures are going to be amazed and filled with wonder that the end of those things will be good for everybody, including them. And so I am grateful for this presentation, grateful for this time. What we see in embryo is a new life, a good life for all. And I'm happy to be a part of the movements of the spiritual movement of truth that dismantles the lies of identity, idolatry, and the other forces that are at the root of this of these things that we're talking about. Thank you very much. Miigwech.